well, good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting day in mathematics. Whoop, whoop. Warm-up number 2's on the screen. We got problem number 1 that says simplify -5 plus 1 plus -3 plus 6 plus -2. Number 2 says simplify. We got 6 plus -4 plus 3 plus 2 plus -3 plus 4. And number 3 is just a reflection. It reads, reflecting on this school year, please answer the questions and elaborate as much as possible. And it reads, give me a second. Reflecting on this school year, please answer the question and elaborate as possible. Question number 1, how do you want to be treated by your teachers? Number 2, how do you want to be treated by your peers, and is there a difference? So just write those down, elaborate. I'll give you some time for that. Ready and go. Bless you. All right, hands if you need more time. Okay. For those of you that are done, make sure you make your way up here and go get a yellow packet. That's a syllabus. Once you're done with a warm-up, read through it, and we'll go over some of the components of that. And for those of you that are watching on YouTube, make sure when you get here the next day, if you're not here, if you were absent, come see me for a syllabus. Okay? All right, so by now you should be done with the warm-up. You probably already read through the syllabus, or you're almost done. But I want to get your attention to the last page of the syllabus. Turn your packet over to the last page. And it says to write your name and then sign right underneath. Do that right now, please. Before you put it away, underneath where you wrote your name and your signature, there's an empty space. Does everybody see that empty space before your parent's name? I want you to write the following. My current grade is always on canvas. My current grade is always on canvas. That's between your signature and right before your parents sign. I want them to know that if they want an update of your grade, or if they want to see your current grade, anything you turn in, go to Canvas. And let me elaborate on why. Sometimes it takes time to link the Canvas grade to the parent portal. So that's why I don't go by the parent portal. I always stick to Canvas. Now, please tell your parents that it's always on Canvas for my class. Please, pretty please. Because, like I said, I'm recording this lesson, and it's going to be up in the YouTube channel today, and they're going to hear that in the video if you actually tell them, oh, you can go to the video and see what we did today. And there you go. It should be in there. Okay? We good? All right. So make sure you read through that, get that signed, bring back only the last page tomorrow. The last sheet, okay? Make sure it's signed. And yes, it counts as home play. You get points for it, okay? All right, so with that said, let's go to the warm-up. So I'm going to act like if today was Monday, and I'm going to go through the process. Mr. Q always goes over the warm-up on Mondays completely. Why? Because I don't want to throw stuff at you that you don't know. However, this is something simple that you should know. So even if you get it wrong, that's okay, because some of us might have forgotten some of the stuff. But I do want you to share with your neighbor numbers 1 and number 2. What'd you get for number 1 and number 2? Talk it over to your neighbor, please. What'd you get for number 1 and number 2? So today, like I said, I'm going to try and get through a lesson completely to make sure that we're getting the flow of the structure of how we're going to do things on a day-to-day basis. And once again, if you see on the screen, I usually have a recording device at the bottom of the screen electronically, so it's recording at this time. So, you know, when I call your name and if you are participating, you're going to be on the video forever. So with that said, and of course you went home last night and subscribed, right, to the channel? All right. So Before I go over number 1 and number 2, I want to talk about a couple of things that you should know by now. Ready? So here's a strategy that I use throughout the year to make sure that everybody's with me as I go over those important things in class. Here it goes. I'm always going to say this. Write your utensils down, eyes on the screen, please. And I wait for you to make sure everybody's focused on the screens. Here it goes. The first thing I want you to think about, your teacher should have showed you this next part. 7 plus negative 7 is known as a zero pair because it makes the number 0. If you put it in a different order, negative 23 plus 23 microjoules, that's still 0. However, one thing to notice is that between the two numbers is what operation? Addition. Okay? That only works when it's addition. Okay? 0 pairs. We good? Yeah? Okay. Second technique is known as the additive inverse. Now, before I get to the additive inverse, Mr. Q, why are you showing us this? Because your brain, once I show you this, you'll be able to simplify the other stuff with a lot more being expeditious. Damn, that's a good word, right? Expeditious, like precise and with speed. Check this out. What if I gave you this? 7 plus negative 8. Can we use the 0 pairs? Unless we do it in our noodle. Check this out. Can 7 of these cancel 7 of these? And that leaves us with, woo, let's go. Are we doing yes? How about if I do this? Negative 23 plus 21. Can 21 of these cancel 21 of those? And that leaves us with negative 2. That's how we use 0 pairs. Okay, but that only works as what? If it's addition, right? Valente, you good? Okay. However, what if it's subtraction? Well, let's find out. 7 minus negative 9. Check this out. This strategy I call the additive inverse. Additive inverse. Additive inverse. Additive inverse. Whenever I see that there's a subtraction in between two numbers, I'm going to use the additive, which means I'm going to change that to addition, additive. Inverse. What is the inverse of negative 9? I bring down this one and I simplify to 16. It's called the additive inverse. When do we use the additive inverse? When there's a subtraction between two numbers. So let's kind of recap really quick. Everything I showed you right now, I know it's a lot, but this is something that you already have, trying to retrieve it. Do you remember 0 pairs? Yes. Can we use that with simplification of two terms? Yes. And can we use the additive inverse property when there's subtraction? Yes. Let me do another one just to make sure we got the additive inverse. Here we go. Negative, give me a number. 4. Okay, 10 minus negative 2. Is there a subtraction between the two numbers? What strategy am I going to use? The additive inverse. I bring this down. Can 2 of these cancel 2 of those? That leaves us with negative 8. You're like, Mr. Q, something's happening to my brain. I know, I'm bringing you back from summer, 2.5 months without math. Come on, can you believe that? Or did some of you do any math? I don't even want to ask, right? All right. Now that we got these strategies down, these are something that you're going to need for the warm-up. Here we go. I'm going to go over the warm-up. Y'all ready? Number 1. Here we go. Let me zoom in. make some room. Here we go. First things first, I need to check that there's addition all the way through. Here we go. Addition, yes. Addition, yes, yes, and yes. So am I going to use the additive inverse property? No. Okay. Next, I can now combine like terms. I'm going to start with the negatives. I have -5 here. Is there another negative? Yes. -3. Is there another negative? Yes. Over here, the -2. So -5, -3, -2, that's -10. And we're adding, yes? Okay. Next, positives. 1 and 6, that gives me 7. Can I use the 0 pairs in our noodle? Find out. Can 7 of these cancel 7 of these? Yes, and that leaves us with -3. Ooh, let's go. Hands if you got that by yourself. Yeah? Okay, good. Some of you do different strategies. That's fine. I'm just showing you an alternative. Is that okay? Yeah? All right. Let's go to number 2. Here we go. Number 2, let me zoom into that. There it is. Okay, and right now you're just paying attention. Write your utensils down. Look up to the screen. Here we go. What do I check first? Addition. Yes, 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 and yes. So I'm not going to use additive inverse property. Next, combine like terms. Let's see. 6, 3, 2, and 4. So that gives us 15. And we're going to add the negatives. -4 and -3, that's -7. So, can we use 0 pairs in our noodle? Yes. 7 of these cancel 7 of those, and we're left with 8. Hands if you got that. All right. How's it going? Yes? Now, to communicate, to make sure I know where you're at, wherever you're at with whatever we're doing, I call it fist of 5. 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. How comfortable do you feel with that? So let's say if I feel comfortable with this, I'm going to say, Ms. Q, I feel like a 4, 5, I'm good. Yeah? But if you are struggling with some of this, just send me a 1 or a 2 or 3 or whatever it is, and just let me know where you're at. So far up to right there, from 1 to 5, how comfortable do you guys feel? 5 4s, 4.5s. Okay, gotcha. All right, so now check this out. Now I'm going to go a little bit a higher level. What do you call that when you're a gamer, like a mastery level or whatever? Check this out. If I increase the level of strategy, I'm going to use a different strategy to do this one. Look up. And the first thing I'm going to do again, I'm going to check for addition. Let's see. Is there addition? Yes, 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 yes. So I'm not going to use additive inverse. However, I am going to look for 0 pairs before I combine. Do we have any 0 pairs that we can cancel from the get-go? Yeah, -4 and? Anything else? And now we just combine and we're left with? Woo! Let's go! From the corner, let's go. You're like, what? What just happened? We're using the strategies I'm giving you, but you need to select which one you want to use. Some of you did this one, you got 8, which is good, but you probably went the long way going 2 at a time, which is good. But I'm teaching you strategies that you can use because for tonight's home play, hint, you're going to need these. Okay? So far so good, yes? All right, so let's see. You walked in, copied the warm-up, yada yada, got your packet, yada yada, and now we're moving on, okay? Last thing, I asked you to reflect on a couple of questions, and you're going to keep that to yourself for right now. I'm just trying to get you there where we want to be, because coming Friday, we're going to have our first pop party. Let's go. Tell your neighbor what that means. Pop party. Woo! Let's go. So, I'm pretty sure you did your home plate. So the third thing we do in class, after the warm-up, the second thing, copy the agenda. Underneath your warm-up, the agenda for today is warm-up number 2. We're looking at number sets and expressions for the lesson that we're going to start today. And then we're going to get our home play, which is only 8 problems to take home. Only 8 problems. You see, when you say it like that, it's very little, right? Only 8 problems. Yeah? All right, so copy that really quick. All right, so we got the agenda. So let's see. Warm-up, agenda, and the very next thing I asked you for your home play from last night. So get that in front of you, please. Last night's home play. Now some of you are like, Mr. Keel, I don't think we got this. Yeah, that was my bad because I ran out of time towards the end. However, this is what I want you to do. Underneath your agenda, I want you to copy number 1A and 1B. Actually, let's X that. 1A and 1C. A and C. But I only want you to find me the difference. The difference. When you zoom out, we're looking at 1A and 1C, and we're looking at the difference. All right, I'll give you some time for that. Copy and go. Difference for those two. All right, share with the neighbors, see what they got for difference of A and C. The difference of A and C. Yeah, passes over. The cube. Yeah. All right, let's see. 1A, the difference. What'd you get for the difference? Go ahead. 19. That is correct. Did you use the additive inverse property, some of you? Yes, let's see. I'm going to show it over here. 17 minus negative 2. It's a subtraction. Additive, inverse. 17 plus 2 is 19. That is correct. All right. Pass someone for 1C. Difference of 1C. Pass it to someone. (1C) difference. You got negative 17. Close. Okay. Yes, in the back? 7. Let's find out how they got 7. Negative 5 minus negative 12. Additive. Inverse. Negative 5 cancels 5 of those, and we're left with 7. And if you got that? All right. See how we're using those strategies? Yes? Okay. And last but not least, before we move on to copy tonight's home play, I want you to look at E, and I want you to find me, let me change colors for that. I want you to find me the quotient. Quotient of E. Quotient. Tell your neighbor what that means. Quotient. All right? So, I'll give you some time for that. So, I think we got it, and I'm going to go back to Valente. Valente, the quotient of E, can you pass it to someone? Fredo, what did you get for the quotient? You haven't finished it? Okay, I'll get it started just so that he can finish. But to get started, I do 7 divided by 23, Michael Jordan. The order doesn't matter. The first number is always being divided by the second number. So be careful. So, just to give Fredo a break, let's see, does 23 fit into 7? No, you add a decimal and a 0. 23 into 70, that's 3. That's 69. Subtract, that's 1. Add a 0. No, add another 0. 100, that fits in there. Let's see, 0, 5, and I'll stop right there. Is it 4 or 5? 4? Okay. I did that on purpose to see if you were paying attention. Pretty good, huh? 4. All right. So, quotient of E, 0.304. But now, don't forget about the symbols. Is this a positive? Yes, this is a negative. Whenever you multiply or divide, if they are not the same symbol, the answer is always a negative. Okay? All right? Good review? Yes? All right? So, yeah. Yeah, let's try to keep it at the 100. Right now I stopped at the 1,000th place, but let's try to keep it in between the first two decimals or the third decimal. Okay? And that's how it's going to go. There's going to be days that I go over the home plate, but there's going to be days that I'm just going to say, you know what? Write your name, day, period, turn it in, and you just send it forward, and I pick those up. Or there's going to be days that I'm going to ask you to take a picture of it and submit that on Canvas. Now, let me give you a warning. Here goes, warning sign. I'm a techie person. Have you guys noticed that a little bit? Yeah? I've been doing this digitally for, let's see, 2006, 2005. About a minute ago, right? I've been doing this already for a while, which means I know my stuff. Such as, if I ask you to take a picture and you submit it, I'm going to be like, oh, cool, there it is. Boom, boom, boom. But one thing that I look for, aside from the math, I look for the information on the picture. They're like, what? You guys know that pictures have an ID, right? And a stamp as to where it comes from. Okay, so put that in your noodle. That tells me who took the picture or what device took the picture. So what if I get two pictures that have the same ID? Tell your neighbor what that means. Two pictures with the same ID. You're like, what? Yes. So yeah, don't be at the last moment. Dude, DM me the Mr. Q's home play, and then you submit somebody's pic. Don't do that, guys. Do your own practice. Let me tell you when you turn in home play. Want me to tell you what days you're going to turn in your home plate? I don't know. We just turn them in when I ask you to turn them in. You're like, oh, what? Yeah, because you're not turning them in to get points, are you? You're turning them in to make sure that you are doing the practice. That's why I leave you practice. Because at the end, guys, to tell you the truth, if you're not practicing, I can almost assure you you're not going to pass this course. Please, Purdy, please do not fall behind. Do your practice, okay? So with that said, practice. You're like, practice? Practice? Anyways, make sure tonight you go to YouTube and search for 23 Mr. Q. Subscribe, because at the end of the day today, I'm going to start uploading the video lesson as I recorded it here. Once again, 23 Mr. Q. All right? And once we get the Chromebooks, I think they should be ready by tomorrow. I think they're working on them. You're going to be getting your Chromebook. We're going to have Nearpod installed. We're going to be using Nearpod. Why do we need that? Because in class, sometimes I'm going to ask you to type in a code, and we're going to be using that code for the session. All right? Anyways, copy the home plate for tonight. It's only 8 problems. I'll give you some time for that. Let's go. So I think we got it. So to ease the anxiety about some of these, I'm going to go over number 8 with you. How about that? Y'all ready? Okay, let's do that one together. And we're going to put together all the strategies that we reviewed in earlier and see if they work with this one. Ready? Here we go. So, what is the first thing we check for in order to simplify this expression? First, if there's any 0 pairs, okay? But before that, make sure that there's what? Addition all the way through. Let's check that. Here it goes. Addition, yes, 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 no. If we have subtraction, what strategy do I use? Additive inverse, which means this subtraction becomes what? Addition, and this 7m becomes its inverse, which is what? negative 7m. Bring down the 1 and then bring down everything else. Plus 2x squared plus 10a plus 9m plus negative 8x squared plus negative 6 plus a plus 5. All right. So now I heard earlier check for any zero pairs. There aren't any by just scanning it. So for these that have different things that are different kind, we need to first group like terms. Okay? So I'm going to switch to blue to stay organized, and I'm going to start with the integers. Integers is a number without any variable. So here's 1. So we have another integer. 5. What is 1 plus 5? So we have another integer. Negative 6. So therefore, 1 plus 5 is 6 minus 6. We cancel all of these. Ooh, let's go. I want to switch to green. Next, let's go to m. Negative 7m and positive 9m. Okay. Are there any more m's? No. And once again, what symbol goes in between both of them? A positive, yes? So I'm going to write negative 7m plus 9m. All right. Can we use the zero pair in our noodle? Let's see. Can 7 of these cancel 7 of those? And that leaves us with 2m. That is correct. All right, I'm going to switch to red. Let's go to the next term. 2x squared. Is there another x squared? Yes, right here. Okay, so then I got 2x squared plus negative 8x squared. All right, can we cancel zero pairs in our noodle? Let's see. 2 of these cancel 2 of those, and that leaves us with negative 6x squared. All right, and last but not least, I'm going to use black for this last part. I got 10a, so we have another a. Yes. Do I need to write it out? No, just get the simplification. What is 10 plus 1a? 11a. Okay. So now, what do we do with that, Mr. Q? Now we have 3 different things. We rewrite them, but with pluses in between. So then we end up with 2m plus negative 6x squared plus 11a, and that's simplified. Now, some of you are saying, Mr. Q, does the order matter already yet? No. For right now, no. Okay? Right now, I just want you to work on the strategies that I showed you today to refreshing your noodle. From 1 to 5, how comfortable are you with these? Where are we at? Some 5 4s, 5 4s. Okay? Now, check this out. Even though it looks very robust, if you take it one step at a time, go through your processes, you'll be fine. Look at the previous one. Look at number 7. Very similar. The only thing this one has different is this last part. Look up. So you remember what you would do there before you start, like, all the other stuff. What would you do there? Yeah. Yeah, just distribute the 4, right, to each of the terms. You multiply, and then you rewrite, and then do the other process, okay? So the only one that's different for your home play out of all these is number 4. I want to see how you do with your order of operations. Once again, no calculators. Do that on your own, please. All right, so that's your home play for tonight. Set that aside. Now, we're about to get into the lesson, so I'm going to have you set up a page. So turn your page over. In order to keep organized in this class, I just want you to continue where you're at. So like that, you're not tearing out pages, you're not doing all this and that, and you're not giving your paper away to people. Make sure you sell them a page for $1 or something. For right now, it's okay. Give them a page, that's fine. But what I'm saying is that let's try and get our materials. So what materials do we need? Here we go again. Look up to the screen. We need, oh, by the way, here, this is what it's going to look like when I give you a code for Nearpod in class, or if you're going to take that Nearpod code home, so like that you can have access to all the slides that I cover in class. There it is, okay? All right. We're back on our regular schedule. There it is, 53 minutes per class. Yes, okay? All right, so materials, make sure you get your book, your notebook. It has to be graphed if possible. Pencil, highlighters, you need at least 2 colors, and 4 colored pens. You'll notice I've been using the different colors. Yeah, that shows us clearly where I'm at and what we're doing. Yes, sir. It'll be on the video on YouTube. Yeah, so. Yeah, I'm uploading this video at the end of the day, so make sure you go to the YouTube channel, okay? And at the, it's a fella. And then we got assigned textbook. We're going to get to those once we get there, okay? So, turn your paper over. I'm going to show you how to set up 4 Cornell notes. You have a blank, oh, thank you. Nice to see you. Yeah, cool. All right, so here we go. Let's set up 4 Cornell notes. Right here, some of you have this red line, yes? So, some of you have enough space here to write stuff, but some of you, the red line is too close to the edge. So what I want you to do is do this. Draw a line a little bit further and all the way down, like so. Nice and straight like mine. There it is. And then you're going to count 4 lines from the bottom to the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know some of you do a fold, that's fine, okay? And down here, see this square down here, right above it, you're going to write objective, objective. Every lesson that I give is going to have an objective, so make sure you write it in here whenever I give you the objective. And at the top right of your paper, write your name, date, period. Name, date, period. Now, why do we need dates on our notes? Because sometimes your neighbor is going to be absent for whatever reason. Maybe they have a game, maybe they have some family event, whatever the case. When they come back, they're really like, excuse me, dear partner and neighbor, could I get the notes for September 23rd? Oh, yeah, I got you. And then you just get your notes and bam. Okay? All right, we good? All right, so label this column that we just did here, label it Q. And Q stands for Quintanilla, let's go. No, for questions, yes. Questions and Qs. I don't know if you notice in your playlist or when you're watching movies on YouTube that it says you want to cue this next video, which means have it ready. Same thing here. This portion is to have ready or to pay attention to something in the notes. Let's say you never heard of the additive inverse property and in your notes you had it here. You're going to make a note for yourself here, don't forget. And then you point to whatever it is you don't want to forget. That column is going to be for you to make notes on for yourself. Okay? However, most of the notes are going to go here. All right? Are we doing good? All right. So with that said, ready to start our lesson? You're like, barely, Mr. Q? Yeah, it's because it's taken us time to go through the processes. Barely day 2. Here it goes. Objective for today. I can simplify algebraic expressions. I can simplify algebraic expressions. I can simplify algebraic expressions. Turn to your neighbor, let them know where to write that in your notes. Where do you write that in your notes? Yeah, at the bottom left where it says objective. Yes, bottom left where it says objective. Bottom left where it says objective. Objective. If you have colored pens, use them. If you don't have them yet, that's okay. But this is so that we know exactly what we're talking about. Check this out. It says, I can simplify algebraic expressions. Simplify algebraic expressions. So if I ask you the question, look up, what is the concept for today? You would look at the objective and you would know what the concept is, yes? All right, share with your neighbor the concept for today. What is the concept for today? Yeah, algebraic expressions because it's in green. Oh, let's go. And what are we doing with the algebraic expressions? We're simplifying, okay? We good? All right. Now, I'm going to use a strategy, a teaching strategy throughout the year called writing utensils down, eyes up on the screen when I need your full attention, such as this next part. Writing utensils down, look up to the screen. So let's clear this out right now. We cannot solve expressions. You're like, what? What have we been doing, Mr. Q? We've been simplifying. You're like, okay. There's only three things we can do with expressions. We can translate them, we can evaluate them, and we can simplify them. Now let me show you what I mean. Look at the problem we did earlier on the warm-up. Look up to the screen, please. Look at it. Does it have any equal signs? No. Equal signs means that you need to solve something. So what is the major difference about expressions? They don't have what? Equal signs. You don't solve. But what do? We make them smaller, which means we simplify. All right? So check this out. So with that said, if that's true, if I give you an expression, you're going to be able to translate that, yes? Here it goes. A number increased by 20. 3. So if I was to ask you to translate that into symbols, think about it. What would the symbols look like? Talk it over with your neighbor, let them know what would be your translation of that. What would be your translation? What? All right, some of you are like, Mr. Q, I forgot. Here it goes. A number. If we don't know a number, then that means we need to replace it with a variable so that we can substitute any number. So I'm going to use the variable Q. Bam, let's go. Increase, that means we're going to do something. How do we increase? Add. And what number do they give us? 23 Michael Jordan. There it is. I just translated. How do we evaluate, Mr. Q? Well, the person that's going to give you a value for the variable is going to tell you that now. So watch. Instead of Q, I want you to use the number. Give me a number. All right, 100. They're talking about lunch. Let's focus here. Here we go. Instead of Q, what am I going to use? 100 and then plus 23. I just evaluated. What do I do at the end? I simplify. 1, 2, 3. How are we doing with that? 1 to 5? Yeah, 5s. Okay. Do we understand we don't solve? We just simplify. I'll stop right there, guys. When we come back tomorrow, we're going to continue with the lesson. I'm going to upload the video lesson at the end of the day. Have a good one, guys. Get that paper signed. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.